Hello everyone, welcome to Property Ponderings. I'm Craig Nicol from Nicol Buyer Advisory here in Melbourne, Australia. We're all about helping you buy and renovate properties to build wealth and turn your dream home into reality. With over 15 years of experience as a property investor, renovator, town planner, agency owner, auctioneer and a buyer's agent, I'm here to share my insights so you can make smarter property decisions and create the future you're after. Today we're diving into something a little different but incredibly important: the psychology of money, and how understanding it can help you make better decisions when buying property and building wealth. I'll be drawing on insights from Morgan Housel's influential book, The Psychology of Money, to frame today's discussion. Now, when we think about buying property, we often focus on the numbers, interest rates, loan-to-value ratios, rental yields, but what many people overlook is how our emotions and psychology play an equally crucial role in our decision-making process. Housel argues that financial success is not about what you know, it's about how you behave. And when it comes to property, that's a massive insight. So let's break this down and see how it applies. Number one, the role of time in wealth building. One of the key points that Housel emphasises is that wealth is largely a function of time, patience and consistency, what he calls the power of compounding. For many of us, buying a property feels like a quick ticket to wealth, but in reality, it's about playing the long game. In the property world, this can translate into holding onto a property that through different market cycles, rather than flipping homes quickly in search of fast profits. If you think about the Melbourne property market, it's a great example. Over the last few decades, the city has seen considerable long-term growth despite short-term fluctuations. We saw a spike in pricing through COVID, and then since then Melbourne has been retracting of sorts and has not been one of the top performers in the Australian market. Housel's insights remind us that time in the market is often more important than timing the market. So when you're buying property, don't focus on trying to pick the absolute perfect moment. Instead, consider whether you can hold on to that property long enough to ride out potential dips and benefits from long-term compounding growth. Number two, managing your ego. Housel also talks about how our ego can drive poor financial decisions, and property is no exception. Many buyers fall into the trap of keeping up with the Joneses, as they say, feeling the pressure to buy bigger homes or invest in highly desirable suburbs purely for status. But chasing after prestige can lead to overextending yourself financially, making you vulnerable to interest rate hikes or market downturns. A practical example here is buying a property that's slightly below your budget, but in an area with growth potential. By focusing on long-term affordability and sound fundamentals, rather than buying a property that might stretch your finances, you're putting yourself in a better position to weather the financial storms and build lasting wealth. Remember, as Housel says, spending money to show people how much money you have is the fastest way to have less money. Number three, the importance of personal goals. One of the most profound takeaways from the psychology of money is that personal finance, and by extension property buying, is deeply personal. Housel suggests that understanding what you personally value is critical. Are you buying a property because it aligns with your long-term life goals, or are you doing it because that's what everyone else says you should do? Let's relate that back to real estate. If your goal is financial independence, then investing in properties with solid rental yields and growth potential makes sense. But if your dream is to have a family home where you can settle for the long term, your approach may be different. In both cases, the right property for you will look different, and Housel's point is that there's no one size fits all when it comes to these kinds of decisions. Number four, the role of luck and risk. Housel also talks a lot about the role of luck and risk in financial success. The property market, like any investment market, is unpredictable. While we can make educated decisions based on market trends, zoning changes or infrastructure development, there will always be a level of risk involved. In Australia, we've seen this play out with interest rate rise in recent years. Many property buyers took advantage of historically low rates, only to find themselves stretched thin as the Reserve Bank increased rates to combat inflation. Housel's advice here would be to prepare for the unexpected by building a financial buffer whether that's a savings cushion or making sure your mortgage repayments are manageable even if rates rise further. He also points out that luck plays a role in success, whether it's buying a property just before a boom or avoiding pitfalls by pure chance. But rather than getting discouraged by the role of luck, the key is to focus on what we can control and our saving habits, or our risk management and our long-term strategy. Number 5, flexibility is the key. Finally, Housel emphasises the importance of flexibility. Property decisions that lock you into rigid financial commitments can become problematic when life throws curveballs. That's why I always recommend ensuring that your property investment allows for some flexibility. Whether it's having an exit strategy or ensuring you have multiple income streams, flexibility can be your safeguard. Let's say you invest in a property with a strong rental yield, but the market shifts and you need to sell. If you've planned for that possibility, you're not trapped in a situation where you have no choice but to hold on to depreciating asset. Flexibility gives you options, and options give you security. So in summary, Morgan Housel's insights into the psychology of money gives us powerful lessons for property buying. It's not just about the numbers and market timing, it's about patience, self-awareness and managing risk. By understanding how our minds work when it comes to money, we can make smarter, more strategic property decisions. Okay, that ends another episode of Property Ponderings. I hope that's given you a few small tips to be able to make some better buying decisions on your next property purchase, and a bit of food for thought about your mindset about property investing and things that you can tweak so that you can continue to get better. If there's anything you want to discuss further from this podcast, or if you're wanting to get some tailored buying and renovating advice, please feel free to contact me at 0400 122081. Or it's craig@nickelbaradvisory.com.au. Thank you. The information provided in this podcast is for general information purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal or professional advice. While we aim to provide accurate and up-to-date information, every property transaction and investment is unique. You should seek the advice of a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. The opinions expressed in this podcast are our own and are not a substitute for tailored advice from a financial advisor or a real estate professional. We encourage you to consult with a qualified expert who can address your specific needs and circumstances.